Hello, I'm going to show you how to potentially fix a controller that's not being recognized in Dreamcast running on the Retropie. Now, to fix this, I have plugged in, well, I should first say I have a controller that has issues in the Dreamcast system. This is the Logitech F310. And on this controller, and I'll just briefly give you my case study here. There's a switch from X to D, and you probably can't see that in the video, but there's a switch on the back, and that changes the controller to operate in either direct input mode or XPad mode. So there are other controllers that this affects. Possibly the Xbox 360 wireless controller for Windows, and sometimes a PlayStation 3 controller. So this fix should work in any case. So to fix this, in addition to having the controller that's not working, you're going to want to have a keyboard plugged up to your Raspberry Pi via USB. This is actually a wireless keyboard, Logitech wireless keyboard, and there's a wireless fob in the Raspberry Pi, and it detects it without having to do anything at all after you're set up. So anyhow, here's what you do. Let's get down to it. The reason why this happens is that almost every emulator that is the best emulator for each of the systems that can run on Retropie is a libretro core emulator. So almost everything has a unified controller setting throughout the system. That's the beauty of using a branded core per system. Daphne's such a special, or I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if I said Daphne before, I mean Dreamcast. This isn't scripted or anything. I'm just kind of talking and using my phone to record this. Anyhow, the Dreamcast emulator is called Reicast, and it's very specialized because Dreamcast was such a unique system. So it doesn't use the libretro core. There is one in an experimental stage, but we're not speaking to that right now. So the idea is we're going to use this keyboard, and we're going to use our controller, and we're going to go in here and manually set our controller for Reicast so it will be recognized in the Dreamcast system. So the first thing I'm going to do, my controller works right now. I can scroll back and forth in the menu. I can enter menus. And that's fine for what we want to do. So what you want to do is from the settings menu, which is typically labeled Retropie here, where it says configuration below. We want to go down to Retropie Setup. And just so you know, there's going to be some small text coming up on the screen, and I'm not going to be able to focus on it very well, but just go with it. It's pretty simple instructions. So here we are on the Retropie setup script. Don't do anything else. Don't update your Retropie or anything like that. Just head down here to this item, configuration/tools. It's the fourth one down. And we have a list of options here. The first option I see when I come into this next window is Reicast. Dreamcast emulator Reicast is what it says there on the screen. Maybe I can tighten this up a little bit and show you. So you'll select that with A. What it says at the bottom now, there's a bit of text that says it's installing the dependencies for Reicast. My Pi is hooked up to Wi-Fi right now. I don't know if that installation process is going out on the web or not. I don't think it is, but just throwing that in there in case yours isn't hooked up to Wi-Fi or any kind of network. So anyway, there's only one option. I'm recording, I can't talk right now. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sorry. So there's only one option in here, configure input devices for Reicast. So click that, and I'm going to pan back out a little bit and show you that it's giving us an option here. Right now it's detecting, there you go. Right now what it's doing is it's saying that I have two devices plugged up. And it's right. I have the keyboard plugged up via USB and I have this controller right here plugged up via USB. And it's identifying both of them by their brand. So one says, for me, number 0 is the Logitech gamepad, and the number 1 position is the Logitech K400, which is my keyboard. Anyways, it prompts you enter the device ID. So you want to pick the one that goes with your controller. In my case, it's 0. You just enter 0 on your keyboard and hit enter. And it's prompting you to set up the controller button by button now. So let's just go through this just so you see. Do you want to map an exit button to the emulator? We'll say Y for yes and hit enter. And then it says press that button now. In this case, I find it's best to use I'm sorry if you can't see it, the select button on your controller. Since Dreamcast didn't have really a select button, this works best as the button to exit the emulator. In most of the other emulators, you hit start and select to exit. In this case, we don't get that option here. We can only have one button, and that button should be select. Okay, so now it says, do you want to map the A button? This is going to come out as A, B, X, Y. That is the Dreamcast button configuration layout. Now, certain controllers will just have these as shapes or say A, B, X, Y in an opposite way, but we need to go A, B, X, Y. So do you want to map the A button? We'll press Y on our keyboard and hit enter. And now I'm going to hit this button for A. Now we want to do the B button. Oops. And this is the really boring part of the video, but there's something you should see. So now I'm hitting B button. It says, now do you want to map the C button? What the hell is the C button? So the C button is used if you have, and it'd be cool if you did, if you had a 6-button Dreamcast, basically a Dreamcast specialized 6-button controller, or there could be a third-party one or whatever. Or if you're setting up like an arcade stick and you have 6 buttons, this is where we would use the C button, but we're not going to use it here. No game we're playing is going to use a C button. So we'll say, no, we don't want to do that. So just press in and hit enter. D button, same thing. No, enter. Do you want to map the X button? Yes. Enter. And then we'll press X. Y button, yes, enter. Now I'll press Y. Z button, we're going to say nope. Start button, we'll say yes. I'll hit start on my keyboard. Map the D-pad. Now this is where you might, if you went through this before and it didn't work right and you're doing it a second time and you're watching this video, this asks you for some weird D-pad stuff. So if you skip this part of the video before, here's where this comes back into play. So we do want to map the D-pad. Yes, simple enough. Hit enter. So press the left button on the D-pad. In my case, try to get some light on this. I'm just hitting left. Now it asks for up, so I'm going to hit up. And there it's mapped the D-pad. Now it says, do you want to map the D-pad 2? I have no clue what D-pad 2 is or how it would be used. I'm going to say no by hitting the letter N and pressing enter. Oops, I had some garbage text in there. No. So now do you want to map trigger left? We'll say yes. On this particular controller, I've had better luck mapping controller like the L button or trigger left as the L button instead of the trigger. You may have similar fate when you do yours. Anyways, I'm hitting that. We want to do trigger right, yes. Map the analog stick, yes. Enter, and this is just our analog stick here on the left side of your controller. And we'll do, let's see, move far left as possible. So left, far up as possible, move it up, and boom. You don't even have to save anything. It takes you right out of the settings menu. You can hit right on your controller and then hit A to cancel out of that. And then you can hit left and hit A to back out of these menus. You can reboot right now, it wouldn't hurt. But I'm just exiting right back into Retropie. Now, let's see if this worked. So we'll go into our Dreamcast folder. And let's see, we'll just pick a game. Now, at this point, if I were to hit select, it would exit the game, and I would know that at least something was different, because before I wasn't able to exit the game. So I am going to hit select, and cool, it has successfully exited me out of the emulator. But let's go back in here and just quickly test out our buttons. If everything worked, then it worked. I'm not going to say if you did everything right, because there's not always a single solution to every problem out there, but this worked for me, and I've tried a lot of different controllers and done this a couple times, and I think this might be your quickest bet, even though we're a good 10 minutes into this shit at this point. All right, here we go. So hit start. Good, great. A button works. I can hit left and right on my D-pad. Left and right on my analog stick also work. I'm not good at this game. This guy's probably going to beat me up right now. But I can at least move around, see how it feels. So, I'm backing up, moving forward. I've found some sort of charge button in there. Not doing too bad. I've never played this game before. Maybe it's just really easy at the beginning. Cool. Controller works so good that I killed the guy my first time playing. So I'm going to hit exit. Exits you out of the emulator and back into the main menu. And you should be good to go. Hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any questions.